All right, what's up, everybody? We'll go ahead and get started here in a moment. If you can hear us and see us, feel free to leave a thumbs up in the chat and we'll get started here in a moment. Thanks so much. All right, what's up, guys? Man, what a day. Holy cow. Pretty cool shot of 432. Now it's going to be a short stream, probably about an hour. We're going to head down to Madison Square Garden. Oh yeah, that's right, the Knicks were playing tonight and they just won. So that means the MSG is probably going to be crazy tonight. Wow. So what does that mean? They advance to the next round, or is there still one more game to play? So they've won what? 3 games so far? So there's one more left to play? Something like that? Hey, what's up, Lance? Alan? New England Crypto? What's going on? Yeah, it's been, it's been pretty busy. So apologies for being late. I pretty much just left the office. Now. So, pretty tired, but we'll kind of be on for like an hour, and then tomorrow, obviously, I'm going to be traveling, so probably no stream tomorrow night. Just depends on what time I get in. But then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll probably be live from downtown Miami, which will be fun because Miami's awesome. And I think you guys will like it. For those of you who have yet to see it, downtown Miami and Brickell are pretty wonderful places. So, hey, Solo 401, what's going on? It looks like the top of One Vanderbilt is lit up for the Knicks because they just won. It's probably going to be crazy the closer we get to Madison Square Garden with all the celebrations. So that'll be cool to see. Today in the markets were higher pretty much across the board. Now the bad thing is, I guess depending on who you're talking to, inflation came in much hotter than expected. Okay, today we got the PPI numbers coming in really hot, but there's more data to look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow we get the CPI data as we're walking past Jeffries. It's a big boutique investment bank. Yeah, Richard Vogel's Red Lobster has floundered. Indeed they have, unfortunately. I think early next week they're going to file for bankruptcy. And I was reading an article on it, and the C-suite, pretty much a lot of the C-suite executives were kind of coming up with a creative idea to try to turn the company around. So they re-implemented the endless shrimp deal, which I think resulted in a multi-million-dollar loss to the company. And now they're filing for bankruptcy, which should be quite interesting to see how this plays out. Chris B, what's up? Good to see you. Guys, check this out. This is the Mandarin Oriental Residences. They finally have the scaffolding down away from the front of it. I think the entrance looks quite nice, actually. Check that out. It's right on 5th Avenue too. So if you like the brand, Mandarin Oriental, 685 5th Avenue, you could actually purchase a branded residence. It's cool, right? Now they're having there's a similar deal going up in Brickell. It's Mandarin Oriental residence for South Florida. But look at this. This building always really catches my eye. This one right here. This is the University Club. It sits on the corner of 5th Avenue and West 54th Street. Beautiful building. Hey, Joy, what's going on? Thanks for joining us tonight as we head down to Madison Square Garden to check out the New York Knicks. Now we also have a lot of Chinese names to unpack. I think Tencent, JD, and Tencent's actually performed pretty well. I think that was up like maybe 5 or 6% on the day. Richard Vogel says it's sad to see another restaurant chain go under. Yeah, I think nowadays, and I'm not a big expert on the restaurant business, but generally speaking, it's all about scalability. And I feel as if there's so many competitors and so many different options that people could go to that it's very, very difficult to run a business like Red Lobster at scale in this environment. I think the way people consume has fundamentally changed more towards like fast casual. And I feel as if somebody's gonna go out to eat, and this is just my opinion, I feel as if nowadays, if you're gonna go to a restaurant and sit down and eat, I feel as if people will upgrade in terms of quality. But if they're looking for something, you know, mid-range quality, they would much rather just go to a fast casual restaurant. But we'll see. They're probably gonna file for bankruptcy early next week. And you know, that doesn't mean it's the end. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Sam says, I read that the endless shrimp deal cost him a lot of money. Yeah, so the C-suite, so the company was in trouble, and the C-suite, you know, was thinking about, you know, a big initiative to try to drive people back to the Red Lobster stores, if you will. So they brought back the endless shrimp deal. Problem is, it didn't really attract any new people. It just attracted the people who went to Red Lobster anyway. And they were just taking advantage of the deal, and it cost the company several millions of dollars. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Mary says the Red Lobster in my area is always busy. I haven't been there in a few years. The one in Miami always seems busy. The one in North Miami, every time I drive past there. Seems busy to me. I don't know. There's also one in Times Square. God, this is the end of an era. Well, maybe not. I mean, there's a lot that could happen. You know, when they file for bankruptcy, that doesn't mean it's the Red Lobster's going to go away. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe they will. I read somewhere that they were going to start auctioning off like the interiors of the stores, like liquidating all the assets inside the stores, the restaurants. what'd you guys think about today's inflation data that came out? Any thoughts? Now tomorrow we're getting even more data. We get CPI. Hey, check the logic. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us on this late night, very, very late night stream. Man, it was a crazy day today, guys, still. Holy crap. Hey, McLaren, thank you so much for your very generous $20 donation. Just, hey, Tom, love the walk and your channel. New York City is a special place. I prefer the Midwest, though, to each their own. Thank you so much for supporting, and thank you for your donation. Much appreciated. And I'm glad you like the content. Yeah, this has been fun. This has been a really, really fun kind of venture we got going on here. Look at how beautiful this building is. Seems as if they don't make them like they used to. Would you agree? I mean, look at those beautiful stained glass windows here. But McLaren, thank you again. Well, with the inflation data, it's running hotter than expected again. However, I think what the market's really looking for is the CPI data, or I should say looking forward to, which we are going to get tomorrow. Now, I usually am able to do a deep dive into the report. I really couldn't today. I was so busy. Today was one of those days where it was on 24/7, which is good, which means things are moving. But the way I see it is hotter than expected means higher for longer, which means US government spending needs to subside. But I don't think that's going to happen. We were talking about that data point that came from Bloomberg. Let's actually make this right through the Diamond District. Take a little bit of a shortcut. Now, every 100 days, right, with the way interest rates are, the national debt accumulates at by $1 trillion every 100 days, which is crazy. Hey, check the logic. Says thank you for the book recommendations. I'm glad you enjoyed them, or are going to enjoy them. Those are some pretty good reads. I think you'll enjoy it. But that's kind of my biggest concern, because if you think about, the markets have been strong. The economy has been very strong. I don't think anybody can deny that. But a lot of that is driven by government spending, right? So you have fiscal spending, you have fiscal side of the house, you have a monetary side of the house. This is a great shot of One Vanderbilt from the Diamond District. So the question is, if we continue to have these high inflation prints, well, the Federal Reserve is not going to cut interest rates anytime soon. If anything, if these reports get aggressively more concerning or worse, there actually possibly might be a case for another rate hike now. Now, the market can probably handle higher rates from what we've seen, but what I don't think could handle it is essentially our future generations can't handle it, because somebody has to pay off all that debt, and higher for longer will essentially mean that our national debt is going to accrue and accrue and accrue at higher velocity, so to speak, which is very concerning. Now, many people have come out and made the case that people are going to start to lose confidence in the US if we keep doing this? I don't know. I actually don't think so, by the way. I don't think so. But I don't think it's good for future generations if we just keep spending like crazy. So maybe our adversaries, this is why, excuse me, maybe this is why a lot of our adversaries are starting to make moves and attack and invade other countries, because they know we'll be forced to step in and aid, send money, send weapons, you know, really whatever. And that puts us in an even worse situation. So perhaps it's exposing our vulnerabilities. Who knows? I mean, what do you guys think? Quickly before I forget, the CEO of Citadel, Ken Griffin, I believe he was in, sorry, I'm tired tonight. Is it Abu Dhabi? Or Dora, I forget. Doha. He was at the Doha summit. You guys have to take, 30 minutes out of your day and check out that interview, that Bloomberg interview with Ken Griffin. Hold on, let's wait till Taylor Swift passes us. Anyway, Ken Griffin touched on a lot of these topics that we're talking about now, in terms of the abysmal fiscal policy that the United States is running, and some potential solutions how we could fix this. So check it out. It just dropped today, like literally 4 hours ago. Ken Griffin in Doha. Hey, Alec S. This is where are we going tonight? We are going to go to Madison Square Garden. I believe the New York Knicks just beat the Pacers. So we'll go ahead and check out those festivities. Hey, Alan. This is Hey Tom. I watched the Palo Alto Network's presentation on AI and cybersecurity. Super interesting. Thank you for the recommendation. Yeah, I think it's thought it was a really interesting keynote for sure. Now, you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to being in Miami because, man, I'm so sick of New York weather, to be honest. It's been like this endless gray, non-stop, and raining. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen so much rain in my entire life living in New York. It's like every day. It rains, it's windy, it's cloudy, and apparently there's a massive heat wave hitting South Florida. It's like over 90 degrees and sunny. So it should be quite the nice change when I land at Miami International Airport tomorrow. So definitely looking forward to that. I mean, it's mid-May already, and man, geez, the weather has been freaking terrible. But you know what? I feel as if the weather is growing worse deeper into the spring, but the weather is warmer as we go into November and December. Has anybody else noticed that? I feel as if a lot of times on Thanksgiving, it can be like 70 degrees. It's not abnormal anymore to be, 60, 65, 70 on Thanksgiving. Alec S. Is this going to be humid? I actually don't think so. In Florida, it's been abnormally dry. It's just been really, really hot. The heat wave has been terrible. but it's good for me. Queen of Swords is New York is definitely more exciting than Miami. I guess it depends how much money you got. Peter's solar maximum this year, so the weather is affected by the sun's habits. Interesting, I didn't know that. I mean, I believe it. I definitely believe it because I noticed the change, at least in the city and out on Long Island. Now, what's funny is when it's 60 degrees in New York City, it's like 50 degrees on Long Island. So it's way colder out there. Yeah, Crispy's is where we take the live stream to Ken Griffin's new property in South Florida. We'll definitely walk around the new construction site in Brickell for sure, which is going to be the new Citadel Security headquarters. They're also building another super tall here too in New York, 350 Park Avenue, which is going to be good. All right, we have the light. Vicky says, please show Salesforce Tower. Sure. It's right here. It's this big blue building. It's quite nice too. I've been up in there once. All the way at the top, they have this really nice kind of restaurant, bar, lounge. They have a barista on staff, coffee shop, and you have a really nice view overlooking Bryant Park. It's an awesome building, and it's a really good company too. Mark Benioff's company. All right, here we are at the Bank of China. We'll bang this right just to do a little bit of a detour to get to Madison Square Garden a little bit faster. I know, it's Solo 401. This is no more portal to Ireland. If you guys remember over the weekend, we took a walk down to the Flatiron District. And right outside the Flatiron building, they had the portal to Dublin. Well, a little bit of an update for all of us. They're taking it down because there's been so much crude and lewd activity going on the live camera that they decided to remove it. Which is interesting because when we were down there doing the live stream, we read the little plaque, and it was like this very nice, you know, saying about how these portals are meant to bring people together and connect the world, when in reality the only thing we saw is people, you know, giving each other the middle finger. So I guess they're taking it down. Which is unfortunate because those things are kind of cool. I wish they had more of them, like a portal to Singapore, portal to China, Hong Kong. Wow, Joe's Pizza is packed tonight. And it's a Tuesday. Good for Joe's. Hey, Patricia Ivory, what's going on? Says, wow, Tom, you're late. Yeah, pretty late tonight. It was a very busy day. Really, really busy day. I was in the office way past 10 o'clock. But all good things are in the works, so I am not complaining. So thank you for your patience. I know, Kristen S. This is why we can't have nice things. For sure, agreed. It's definitely it's a cool concept, but there's a lot of opportunists. I think that's what we've learned.
You know, exalt herself with the hacker.
Definitely a lot of opportunists for sure. Yeah, Mary's like, regarding the portal, a few bad actors have ruined it for everybody else. I think it's a cool concept. Emmett says, do you have roommates in New York City? I do not. I did, though, for a long time. And I would recommend it to pretty much everybody. If you're young, you know, don't get a nice apartment in New York. I'd say in between the ages of 16, 17, and maybe 26. I would highly, highly recommend and advise to live as cheaply and as poorly as possible. Because when you're, you know, in your mid-20s, early 20s, you don't need the nice apartment. You know, you don't need a nice view. You should be out if you're going to move to New York City. Let's say if you're not from here, and if you're going to move to New York City, you don't move to New York City to spend time in a nice apartment. You move to New York City to, you know, grow a career, make a lot of money, you know, meet people. So you don't need to have a nice apartment. So I would have the cheapest, most disgusting, rundown living situation possible until about 26 years old. And then you'll probably be doing quite well. And then go get yourself a normal place or buy something. But don't fall for the trap of renting something nice when you're young. That's what I'd say. All right, let's go over to 8th Avenue. It's probably going to be a tad less crowded.
Met him.
It's kind of like that old saying, you know, if you pay the price today, you could pay any price tomorrow. Alec asks, is a good game. Yeah, so I think there's only one more game, right? And then if the Knicks win this next game, we're good. Man, the city is going to be crazy. This is really good news for New York, though. I think this is what the city needs. If we have the Knicks continue to do well and the Rangers continue to do well, I think that will officially solidify the complete turnaround in New York. Sometimes that's what a city needs, is they need a sports team to quote-unquote rally the troops, so to speak, right? I got it. DC322 says the Knicks need to win on the road. Copy that. In Indy, which is tough. Okay, we've made it to 8th Avenue. We're now going to make this left. And this will take us to the backside of Madison Square Garden. Hey, Dante Rose. Good to see you. New England crypto. Tom isn't a big fan of the meme stocks, but also I don't hate on it. No, I mean I just don't give it Just me personally, I don't give it attention, but that's just my opinion on it. Really for two reasons. I think you're going to see a lot of trouble come down the pike with that. So I don't want to be involved in any way, shape, or form. I think you're going to see a lot of issues, legal issues, conducted with that stuff. And number two, at the end of the day, these companies don't make any money. So I'd rather focus on companies that make money and, you know, compound out their earnings. I feel as if this kind of thing is just a temporary anomaly in the market, that most people, the overwhelming majority, will lose money. So I just choose to kind of steer clear. Hey, Surf's Flat Trader. Just what are your thoughts on CPI tomorrow? Well, if it was a coin toss, I'd probably say it's probably going to come in hotter than expected, because today's PPI number came in hotter than expected too. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Now, I was so busy today, I couldn't see what Fed Chair Jerome Powell said during his speech today. Did anybody else get a chance to see that? Someone says, hey Tom, are you allowed to go to the South Street Seaport? Yeah, I'm allowed to go. What do you mean, am I allowed to go? Is there something that's happening there that I should know about? Hold on. What's going on at the Seaport? Yeah, I mean, everybody's allowed to go, assuming something's, what is there, a protest or something that's happening? There's been a lot of protests and demonstrations across the city. I think they closed down the Manhattan Bridge a few days ago. Crypto says way off mark, rates will stay higher for longer. Definitely agree. Peter says, what's going to happen to the leaning building at the Seaport? You know, I'm not too sure what's going to happen with that, because they pre-sold a bunch of units. And I don't know if these people are going to get their money back, or they're going to get their deposits back, or what. But, I mean, talk about a crazy turn of events that was. So if you go to the South Street Seaport and you look at that massive building, it's like a big concrete structure. Well, the building department essentially mandated that all construction be halted because the building is leaning a little bit. And if they continue to build any more, the building is at risk of potential collapse, which would be just a total devastation. Total disaster. So it's good that, you know, at least they caught it before anything horrible happened. I think the most fascinating construction story that I've heard is that super tall building in San Francisco, where I think that since San Francisco, it's essentially built on like the bay, quite literally. The building was sinking into the ground, so they had to like go in and pump water out to kind of make a suction vacuum and put like these big pylons to support the building the other way. It was just an amazing feat of engineering, and I think it's fixed now. Anybody else heard of that? Maybe we have some viewers from San Francisco. It's incredible what engineers can do. Different creative solutions that they can come up with to fix things. It's actually pretty incredible. Whoops. Oh wow, look at that. This is a great shot of the Empire State Building lit up in mixed colors. And you have Madison Square Garden too. Yeah, 4 K4s with landfill, essentially. Now, you're probably gonna have a little bit of that same problem in Florida, particularly in downtown Miami. Hold on one second. But one of the ways that they're gonna fix that or get around that is through a process called soil mixing. It's actually pretty cool. So if you guys want to watch an interesting video about construction or development, architecture, check out that video on how they built the foundation to the Waldorf Astoria residences in downtown Miami. They use this really interesting engineering, I should say, design or method called soil mixing. So they drill a bunch of holes way down deep into the soil, and the drill bit has holes in the individual drill bit so they could pump concrete while they're mixing the soil into the concrete. So it creates this super sturdy and solid base. But they need to time it correctly, because if they don't, and it rains too much, it destroys the entire foundation. They have to pump everything over again. And that's actually what allows these developers to build so tall in places like downtown Miami, and just Miami, Florida in general, where they don't have any good solid sound bedrock. It's all limestone. It's all very porous limestone down there. Hey, SoCal Lawrence. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, what's up, MD? Therese, this is how do you keep your motivation all the time? I don't know if I'm motivated all the time. I would say I'm optimistic most of the time. 99% of the time, I'm very optimistic. Look at that. Amazing shot of the Empire State Building and Madison Square Garden. Pretty cool. But I don't know, I'd say generally speaking, the United States is just such a great country. There's so many opportunities. And just think about all the billions of people that weren't lucky enough to hit the lottery, to be born in the US, or just in a Western nation in general, right? A lot of people were born into countries where they have tyrannical governments, you know, under a communist dictatorship, no freedom of speech, no individual property rights. But I just hit the lottery, man. I literally just got lucky. Because if you're born in the United States, particularly in and around a major city like New York, I mean, my God, that's like what are the odds? It's insane. You can pretty much do whatever you want, pursue whatever you want, and the opportunities are endless. It's just like everything is at your disposal all the time, 24/7, 365. So you really have to take advantage of that. And if you don't, I think it's being a little bit selfish, because there's so many people that would kill just to be here, you know, in your spot. So if you were lucky enough to get that golden ticket, use it to your advantage. Enjoy life. Try to be successful. Try to build cool stuff. Try to make a lot of money. And when you do, help the next guy do it. I think that's my whole belief. So Let's walk the perimeter of Madison Square Garden. And we'll see if we buffer. Who knows? Maybe we won't. It seems as if a lot of people went home early because of the rain. So we'll see. Hey, Romero says I was born in the Bronx. I was born in an old hospital. It's awesome. You got really, really lucky, my friend. Hey, Texas 05 from Corpus Christi, Texas. What is going on? Good to see you. All right, we have the light. Let's cross. Well, here we have some Knicks fans coming out. Wow, we got a lot of people coming down. Hey, Solo, what's going on? Looks like everyone's wrapping up. How's the internet holding up? We holding up so far?
James here, they're here, Nutcrackers. Always open, man.
Traffic's actually not too bad. Maybe everybody skipped out a little bit early. Looks like they're about to take down the scaffolding on the backside of the new Pen 2 project. Looks pretty good. Two Penn properties, 888 7th Avenue. I was about to say 6th Avenue. Jeez, Mariana, Texas. Hopefully you're all right. Fingers crossed. Take care of yourself. Hopefully you're doing all right.
Snapbacks and fucking. Someone says Cybertruck? I completely missed it.
Oh, you're right. There was a Cybertruck. How did I miss that? It's right there. Hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there it is. I think that's the third Cybertruck we've seen. Oh man, Mariana, Texas. Jeez. So sorry to hear that. Please take care of yourself. Please. Well, at least it's manageable. I have cousins with type 2 diabetes. Wow, look at the aftermath of the celebrations. So the series has to go back to the away team. So is it possible that New York could win the series in New York, or no? They have to win it away. Seems to have a big police presence. Can we just do a quick time check in the chat? Just want to make sure we're right on time. Hey, what's up, Triple G? They win the series in Indiana and move on to the next series. Copy that. So how many more and excuse my ignorance, I'm not a big basketball guy, but how long until we get to the finals, like the final series where we could win the NBA championship? Is it 2 more? Is it 1 more? That would be crazy if the New York Knicks make it to the finals. I may buy a ticket to one of the games, honestly. If we make it to the finals, I may have to cough up the money to go see a game. I don't know how much that's gonna be. Probably a few $100 maybe. Oh, 2 more? Oh, so we got a long way to go. Wow, so everybody's going this crazy and we have a really, really long way to go. I could only imagine what the city's gonna be like, assuming we actually make it all the way. That's going to be quite unbelievable, perhaps. So fingers crossed that that happens. Really? Thousands of dollars? Thousands? Well, I guess that shows my ignorance about sports. Anyway, guys, once again, apologies for being late. I was working extremely late at the office tonight, but we will be back on Thursday, okay? And I should have a little bit more energy and a little bit more well-rested on Thursday. We'll do a deep dive into Walmart and Home Depot's earnings report, as well as the CPI data that is going to come out tomorrow. So if you guys enjoyed this live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see all of you in 2 days in downtown Miami. I got to get up early, got to catch my flight. So I'll see all of you soon. Wishing you well. and take care. We'll meet again probably, if not tomorrow night, maybe, depends on what time I get in. We'll see you guys Thursday. So Sarah, thank you so much. Austin City Limits, Richard Vogel, Tatted Tea, Mars. And if you guys want to receive, I posted our 2024 Walks in Wall Street recommended reading list. If you want to get that, just scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email. And these are all of the top recommended finance, investing, and business books. With that being said, have a good night, guys. Be safe, take care, and we'll see you from the Magic City, Miami 305.